If I had never moved to LA, she'd be alive. I don't want to go far into it because it will bring me to tears. The topic came up when Kanye was asked what he had to sacrifice for his success. He said, "My mom." I talked to God about.
So this right here is Psalms 106 and verse 28. They joined themselves also unto Baal Peor, and ate the sacrifices of the dead. So this is just going into the understanding of Baal. Baal is the god of sacrifice, blood sacrifice, and child sacrifice. So we have to understand that the music industry, the entertainment industry, when it comes to, sacrifice, so on and so forth, it's all in the veneration system of Baal Peor. You know what I mean? So this here is the ancient depiction of Baal, or the deity in regards to Baal. You see him holding a child because he's the god of child sacrifice and blood sacrifice, as well as Molech. Now Molech is basically Baal. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to the music industry, they worship Baal, and you see him with the horns, the goat horns, because the Baphomet is basically a composition or an allegorical figure of Baal in regards to, when you see the depictions, when you see the composites, and understanding, which region this god was based in, and how you contrast that as well as compare that, but understanding who they all go back to. So yeah, that's that in regards to Baal and the god of sacrifice. So Mr. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy declared himself a superstar on 7/1/1977 with the release of the album No Way Out. This means that somebody above him gave him the approval, the puppet masters, in order for him to rise to the top and become a god or proverbial, master mason. Not proverbial, but an actual master mason, but proverbial god. Blood had to be spilled. The blood of gangster rappers Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. So this just was, taken from an article here. And I just wanted to screenshot this here because it's very important that we understand certain things about why these people worship what they worship and why you see what goes on in the entertainment industry. It's just that, of course, it's not going to be, publicized to us overtly. We have to, understand certain things based off of research, right? In my last video, I went into the whole blood ritual sacrifice thing, but, I didn't touch on spirit cooking. And it's a very important understanding when it comes to, what the esotericism is about, especially the veneration of, Baal and so on and so forth. So spirit cooking is basically the act of a ritual in which, you either sacrifice an animal or a human, and you either drink the blood or you do something with the blood in regards to artistry. And that's what this woman here does in regards to the woman who's sticking her fork in the belly of the dead body. This woman's name is Marina Abramovich. And she's basically, she's basically, just to put it lightly, she's a Luciferian. She's a witch. And she's heavily, heavily into Satanism and doing the necessary things to maintain her status on this earth as a Satanist, excuse me. She's here obviously with Lady Gaga. We all know about Lady Gaga and her fucking soulless ass. They both wearing all black for witchcraft. And you see the colors, the color scheme, white, black, and red for the black mass. So that's what she was all about. And she tried to deny that she wasn't a Satanist when somebody called her out. But, it is what it is, man. Or not necessarily called her out, but just, was inquisitive about her because of it's just being so obvious that that's the vibe that you pick up when you look at her work and stuff like that. So this is just from Wikipedia in regards to Marina Abramovich. Among a tranche of emails leaked from John Podesta and published by WikiLeaks in a run-up to the 2016 U.S. presidential election was a message from Abramovich's to Podesta's brother discussing an invitation to spirit cooking, which was interpreted by conspiracy theorist Alex Jones as an invitation to a satanic ritual, and presented by Jones and others as proof that Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton had links with the occult. In 2013, Reddit Q&A in response to question about occult and contemporary art, she said, "Everything depends on which context. Everything depends on which context are you doing it. What are you doing? If you are doing occult magic in the context of art or in gallery, then it is art. If you are doing it in a different context, in spiritual circles or a private house or on TV shows, it is not art. The intention, the context for what is made and where it is made defines what art is or not. Sculptor Nicola Pasic says that Abramovich has a lifelong interest in esotericism and spiritualism, but this should not be confused with Satanism, which is a different system of occult beliefs. Two horns on the same devil. Two horns on the same devil. Esotericism, spiritualism, as they would say, because their form of spiritualism is not the righteous form of spiritualism. They don't even know what the fuck spiritualism is, to be honest. So yeah, man, she could sit here and say that she's not a Satanist, but we all know the deal. So she was asked, where do the Satanism claims come from then? Right-wing outlets have focused on a 1987 performance called Spirit Cooking, for which Abramovich scrawled phrases using pig's blood. She also issued a recipe book that, as part of the process for making dishes, instructed readers to commit violent acts. That's crazy, man. And she's talking about she's not a Satanist, if you say so. James Westcott, Abramovich's biographer, has previously stated that carrying out those acts would be a grave misunderstanding of the artist's intentions. Spirit Cooking is a relatively obscure work within Abramovich's oeuvre. However, sorry if I mispronounced that, but at the end of the day, man, Spirit Cooking is Satanism. It's like, come on, there's no way you could clean that up. Especially these white people, and I hate to get on this type of time, but it is what it is. I speak the truth. White people, they're soulless. So it's easier for them to be that way in regards to them having that spirit on them. You know what I mean? They're soulless. They're not spiritual at all. They're not soulful at all, man. They're soulless people. It just is what it is. I'm not being quote unquote racist. It's just the truth. Now, for the most part, do you have certain white people who actually want to know about God and who actually care and who think that they're faithful or whatever, not knowing that the book is not for them? Yes, you do have those people. And when I say not knowing that the book is not for them, I'm talking about, us knowing that the book is not for them, but them thinking that the book is for them, whatever. It is what it is, man. Not to go on a tangent or whatever, but listen, man, these people, they're soulless. It is what it is. So here you see Jay-Z with the Aleister Crowley doctrine of do what thou wilt on his sweatshirt. And Jay-Z is linked up with Miss Marina Abramovich. She was in the video for Jay-Z's Picasso Baby. And, Jay-Z is heavily, heavily into that. He's a high-level Mason. Everybody know that. Everybody know that shit. Come on, man. So this is from an article that I read up on, in which there was a drummer from Beyonce's band who basically accused Beyonce of witchcraft, accused Beyonce of spirit cooking and going into esotericism, blood drinking, so on and so forth. She really was going in on Beyonce. So this right here says, what does this have to do with Beyonce and Jay-Z? Not only did they stump for Hillary hard during the elections, but they have close ties to the spirit cooking woman. So this was around the time, obviously, 2016. Marina Abramovich sharing performances and attending events, as do all of the other celebrities and politicians. Then there's the Bohemian Grove, where all of the politicians go to do mock human sacrifices to Moloch and Minerva, who was also mentioned in Hillary campaign emails. So yeah, man, they worship Moloch, they worship Baal, they worship the pagan gods. And when you see all this stuff like blood magic and, spirit cooking and black magic, so on and so forth, it's all based in the worship of the pagan gods, the pagan deities. You see her right here with the goat head, the goat horns. You feel what I'm saying? She talking about she not a Satanist. Now what the fuck are you if you got some shit like that in your hand and it look like you cut the fucking head off or some type of shit? Like, this shit's crazy, man. These people crazy. But man, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we have to understand what we need to stand on and what we need to continue to stand on. And that's what's the most important. Excuse me, I'm a little tired doing this video, but, I just get caught up. I'd be up just reading and doing a lot of research. So just bear with me, excuse me. And I just want to say thank you. God bless you all. Shalom.